to keep that music on while we're hanging out today. I'm Anna Morgan, your career BFF, rescuer of animals and careers, founder of the BFF method to job search strategy, which is behind the recruiter curtain, focused in fulfilling job search strategy and fabulous self-love. Those are the pillars that I feel accelerate us when we're looking for work. And there was a tornado warning that just went off outside my window. So here we are. Happy holidays. I cannot believe it is, what is even the date today? December 8th. I don't know about you all, but I am feeling the crunch as we head towards the end of the year. And I was just looking at the back of my situation. I've got a drawer open over here. I've got lights over there that I'm supposed to put on that tree. But here we are, progress, not perfection. So I am showing up for you all today from Atlanta, Georgia, where it's like 60 degrees. I don't even know why I'm wearing a turtleneck, but I just want it to be cold. Listen, have no fear. Timothy is here. He goes by TJ. Make sure you connect with him. We have George or Jorge in the house. We have Julie in the house. Samantha with an amazing last name. Morgan's in the house. I love it. So I'm going to give folks a couple more minutes to get here because today is a full-on kind of like workshop webinar. The tornado horn outside my window. It's kind of loud. I hope you all can't hear it. So we are going to be doing some reflection about our 2022. So it is not too late, too early to start thinking about our foundation for 2023. Which is just crazy. I mean, these last couple of years since 2020 has been wild. So, hello, Susan. Happy holidays. Great to see you. Josh Andrews, ATL in the house. I love it. John is in the house. Awesome. Listen, we are doing a webinar today. So, grab a pen and a piece of paper and get ready because I'm going to ask you some questions and I'm going to give you some time to reflect as I ask you these questions. And it's all in service of getting the wheels turning for what is our heart desire? What is like our intuition and our soul like guiding us to as we move into this new year, right? Like those of you that know me know that I'm a little woo-woo and I believe in listening to the things that come up through us, right? So take a moment, take a deep breath, get your notebook, because I did the same exercise that I'm going to have you do. And I cannot take credit for it because I'm sharing with you something that was shared with me by my coach because I have a coach. A lot of you have coaches. I might work with you. I might have worked with you in the past. And we always need support from mentors and guides and people that have trudged the road to their happy destiny before us. So anyway, I am so glad that you're all here. Yvonne is here. Make sure you're all connecting in the comments if you're not together already. This is a merry time to connect. And John, I owe you a response. I think I owe Susan a response on a couple things. So y'all just bear with me. These last couple business days of the year for me are pretty intense because I'm doing some radical self-love and self-care. And I am taking pretty much the last part of December off and unplugging and disconnecting. I think I'm going to try to do like a full social media detox, which for this, Gen Xer that has a love of Gen Z and millennials for social media might be a little challenging. So, all right. So everybody talks about goals. Like this time last year, I did a webinar on like 6 ways to overcome fear as you move into your job search of 2022. And we talked about, building vision boards and, setting all these goals. And we're going to keep it really simple today because I found these exercises to be really helpful and a little bit challenging at the same time. So let me get this going and we'll get started. So if you haven't said hello in the comments, please do. And I'm going to get this up for you all now. Just give me one moment. Here we go. Now I just have to share it with my screen, on my screen. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for being here. All right. Can you guys see my screen? Job search reflections is what we are focusing on. So everybody, close your eyes and take a deep breath. In through the nose. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. You can exhale out of your nose or out of your mouth. So let's do that one more time. We're going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew. All right. Let's do this. All right. My promise to you today is that we're going to get quiet, although it's a little hard for me to get quiet, but get intentional, all in service of setting the foundation for your future job search in 2023. Whoops, I forgot to add or edit the 23. So plan to stay here for about 20, 30 minutes, have a pen and paper, and feel free to jump in the comments. Susan, congrats on 2 interviews this Friday. Listen, we are going to decide to manifest our dream career and the life for you and for your future. So I'm a big fan of manifestation. So here's your first question. What is the nicest thing that someone did for me this year? What is the nicest thing someone did for you this year? So go ahead and write this out. And again, cannot take credit for these conversations and these questions. I did this exercise with my coach, Rob Gilbert, and I loved it so much. I said, can I use these questions? I want to share it with my CareerBFF Live community. And if you are comfortable sharing what is the nicest someone did for you this year in the comments, please do. The more, the merrier. But the reason we're doing this, I'm just going to stop talking. I'm going to give you guys 30, 45 seconds to answer that question. And again, if you would like to put it in the comments, you certainly can. I have nothing to drink. So what is the nicest thing someone did for me this year? Can't really see what's going on LinkedIn, but that's okay. All right. So write those things down, and then we're going to move on to what is the nicest thing I've done for someone this year? So what is the nicest thing you've done for someone else this year? How did you surprise and delight someone? How did you show up for someone? What was something unexpected or lovely or just kind that you did for someone this year? All right. Can't seem to get off of this page. Yeah, welcome back to school, Timothy. We are in session, CareerBFF session. Okay. So hopefully we can think of something someone, did for us this year that was quite kind and nice. All right. So here's the $1 million question. What was the nicest thing I did for myself this year? I will tell you that this was a question that I had to take a moment. I am guilty of, trying to do a lot for others, and I sacrifice sometimes my self care and things that I need to do to take care of myself. So this was a great question for me. And so I'm curious, how it resonates with you all. And this is just all in service to look at the big picture. How are people showing up for us? How are we showing up for others? And how are we showing up for ourselves? I feel like those three components really help build a strong foundation to, help us move into this next season of 2023 as we start to look for our career aligned work. So the next question is, what are the things that you are proud of? And let me just take this banner off because it seems to be interrupt in the content. So what are the things that you're proud of that you did this year? That could be how many networking calls that you've had, or how you've been visible on LinkedIn. It could be personal, that you hit a health goal, or it could be anything. So what are some of the things that you are proud that you did this year? This is again, for some of us that like to focus externally, it can be difficult to look at ourselves and be like, okay, dang girl, what am I proud of? Let me see here. So just to give you guys some perspective, there have been times that this year that, I struggled in my business and I wanted to light it all on fire. So I was proud that I have showed up consistently and never given up on my dream of CareerBFF. Another interesting thing is I quit smoking this year, which was a big thing. Another thing I'm proud of is that I am sober from alcohol, and I'm a part of a community where I'm active, and I work a program to help me stay healthy. I'm proud of being consistent in my business. I'm proud of showing up here 25, 26 weeks in a row. So just to give you a little perspective of what was on my list. So what were some challenges that you faced this year? I think there are opportunities to learn from our challenges, right? Some of my challenges were, time management, systems, situations in my business, fighting imposter syndrome, trusting myself and my intuition to, move my business forward in a way that felt the most authentic for myself. Challenges were, I made investments in myself and my business, and some were freaking awesome and some were not so great, and challenges taking care of myself. I have my own kind of health challenges that I'm working through. But here's what I learned, right? Like the next part of that is like, as we list out those challenges, what were they, right? And then what did we learn from them? Thank you for the kudos, guys. I appreciate it. So, I want you to think about, again, like, what did you learn from them? And then from those challenges, and what are some of your goals and dreams as you move into this next year? So, again, the woo-woo side of me is like, your pen is a magic wand. And I asked John this not long ago. If you could take a magic wand and cast it over your LinkedIn profile or your resume, or the next 5 years of your career, like write that out. What could that look like? List out those dreams and those goals, and be bold. Like nothing's off limits. Nobody's going to see it except you and, maybe someone in your family that looks at your notebooks. But, and as you think about those goals, I mean, they can be big, they can be small, but there's power in actually taking pen to paper. There's power in taking pen to paper. There's power in taking pen to paper. And that is something that I have learned time and time again as I have gone through my professional journey, as I've, accelerated through my career, as I've done my own personal and professional development. So I want to invite you all to do that as well. So now think about one small step, like one small step that you can take in service of one of those goals. Because, if we have this vision of what we want and we know what our values are, and we believe, we have faith, and that these things are possible, we can start to look at those habits and those small little things that you can do in service of getting you to that next place. Okay. When I did this exercise, I have like a health goal, and like one little step that I could take in service of that was making sure that I carve out time to go on a little walk in the middle of the day with one of my now 5 dogs. So that is something to think about. So think about that one step that you can take. And remember, what gets measured gets done. And, I'm neurodiverse, I'm ADHD, I struggle tracking things and keeping it. Like, I get in trouble sometimes where they're like, hey, you need to put your numbers in from yesterday. So one way that I have found to stay accountable and to measure things so I can look back and see what my success is to think about, who here can I rely on for support? Who could be an accountability buddy as I go through this process? And then being radically honest with myself, like, am I surrounding myself with people that have similar goals? I have learned time and time again about sticking with the winners. That has been a key thing. And it's also sticking with people that have a little bit of what I want. So it's like, man, it's not from a place of like envy or jealousy, but you're like, that woman is crushing it. Like, I want to know what she does to be able to execute the things that she does, right? So look at the people that you're associating with, that you're communicating with on a regular basis, that you're making outreach conversations to, because those people can really help you stay accountable. And then, in those goals, figure out what works for you to measure your success. Because I've learned one of the biggest ways to stave off like the not enoughs and imposter syndrome is tracking my wins, is tracking my successes, finding gratitude in those ordinary moments that help me see how I impacted someone's life, or how I saved a company money, or how I helped someone get a new job. Like, those things matter. And sometimes, there's not it's tough to quantify it, right? But either keeping a journal, or my buddy has this career accelerator book, Orlando Haynes, and this is a great way to keep track of your posts, your reflections, your project ideas, and like, if you are working, what are some of the things that you've done this week, this month, this quarter, that might be things that you need to update your resume with, or that you might want to make a piece of content on. But I want people to be able to come back and like pause it and start it and answer these questions to, really just invite you to think about, where have you been kind to yourself? Where have you been kind to others? And where have people showed up for you? What are these goals that you have for the future? And how can you take those small steps in service of accomplishing those goals? Because, you can't, like, we live sometimes in this instant gratification kind of world where we're like, everything has to be perfect, like in a matter of weeks. And it's, that's not the case. It takes time. It takes time to develop skills. It takes time to heal from a toxic boss or a bad working environment. It takes time to heal from a layoff. It takes time to focus on our health, both, physical, mental, spiritual. So it's about giving ourselves grace, but also making ourselves a priority, right? And again, I'm speaking from a place of relatability that, these are things that I struggle with. So when we make decisions bigger than our fear, let courage be our wings as we move into this next season of uh, unpredictability, but also opportunity. And that's like flipping the script as we move into this new season as in opportunity versus unpredictability, right? So I just did it right there. Um, so that is it for what I have for you all today. I'm going to stop sharing and come back so I can see what's happening in the comments. Yes, need that self-love. It's hard. And one of the things I know from a self-love standpoint really comes from my experience in sobriety. So for those of you that are new, I've been sober for 11 and a half years. My sober date is May 11, 2011. And my sponsor, the woman who kind of taught me how to stay sober, she said, Anna, you have to be willing to step over people to maintain your sobriety, and keeping that self-care and that priority of self, but in a healthy way above all else, right? And it was all about taking those actions to have a relationship with a power greater than myself, to show up for other people and to be of service. And those three things are very similar to how I show up in my coaching nowadays as well, because I believe those components of radical self-care, being of service to others, and showing up for others really get us out of our head, right? Because if we're in a long-term job search or a hard job search, we can get into that imposter syndrome, that pity mindset. But if we're focused on other people, and being in service of, showing up for others, then we attract this different energy to attract aligned opportunities. So hopefully this has been an invitation to think about your goals for 2023. Again, my friend Rob asked us these questions the other day, and I found so much value in it. Wanted to share it with you, to think about, what are the nice things people have done for me? What have nice things I've done for others? And what are the nice things I've done for myself? What are those goals? What are the habits and steps that you can take in service of just starting to chip away, just one day at a time? So y'all, I am Anna Morgan. I am your career BFF. If you need support, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be here next weekend, next Thursday, the 15th. This will be the kind of Ask Me Anything week. I am trying to get my dear friend, June Calaruso, to join me. This would be our third year of going live for the holidays. We did a spoof on the Saturday Night Live Delicious Dish. If you know that Saturday Night Live skit with Alec Baldwin, he talks about Swedish meatballs, if you know what I mean. And so we have a lot of fun. So I'm trying to see if she can join me on the 15th. So I may have her or another guest, or in true ADHD fashion, to be determined. So I am super grateful for all of you that do show up. Thank you for the time, for the support. Remember to take care of yourself during this busy season. And I was going to have Lily say hi, but she seems pretty content with her little sister over there. So everyone have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next Thursday.